Over 80 miles of world-class mountain biking trails in Carrabassett Valley, Maine, right at the base of Sugarloaf Mountain. No matter what your skill level is, expert, intermediate, or beginner, this mountain has something for you.
Most people start their day at all speed. A mountain bike shop will look at the center of all the trails. Whether you need to rent a bike, have fun, man, get your gear tuned, or just get directions to the best trails, we've got you covered.
And this is where the fun really begins.
These trails are amazing.
100%. I mean, we are complete beginners when it comes to mountain biking, and to be honest, I was a little bit nervous when we first got started, but I do feel like we progressed a lot from trail to trail.
Definitely. And we even did our first single track, but my favorite part was just being surrounded by the mountains, being out in nature, and riding our bikes along the river.
Hi, my name is Adam Craig, and I am a professional bike rider with Giant Bicycles. I've been lucky to ride and race all around the world, and that journey started for me here at Sugarloaf in Carrabassett Valley, racing a long time ago, and I'm glad to be back. Here in Carrabassett Valley, there's such a wide variety of trails, from absolutely accessible to everyone to learn, and then things like this Widowmaker extension that are inspiring to me, and this is my favorite style of riding in the world. It's just this rough, raw, rugged New England, rocks and roots and through the woods.
We build mountain bike trails here because it's in our blood. What we're building in Carrabassett Valley in the next 5 years is going to revolutionize mountain biking in New England.
We're expanding geographically, but I also think we're expanding the style of trail that we're building. I've lived here for 5 years, and you can ride here 100 times and not ride the same route. There's tons to explore, and this is one of the only places in New England that you can have that experience.
And we're recording good. All right, what is up? So thanks for watching that commercial. That was probably one of the coolest commercials that I've ever shot. But the second half of this YouTube title is talking about a massive piece of advice that I want to give you as a growing filmmaker. And to go into it really quick, it's to use less slow motion. And that might not make sense because we're filmmakers and we love that buttery smooth slow motion. But I can't tell you enough that when I'm looking at growing filmmakers, people, amateurs getting into this industry and trying to shoot better content, something that I see all the time is videos that are like 95% slow motion. And in specific videos and situations, that makes sense. Slow motion is what the video needed to be shot in, but most of the time we really don't need slow motion, and we're using it as a crutch in a way to make somewhat boring sequences look cooler because slow motion is the only way we can kind of do that. But I challenge you, instead of flipping into high frame rate modes and trying to just slow down our sequence to as much as we can, as slow as we possibly can do with our gears, film in 24 frames per second, and rather than do slow motion, be as creative as possible in the way we use our gear. So how can I shoot this scene with as many unique and creative camera angles as I possibly can? How can I move the camera, even if it's just on a tripod, if we're zooming in, panning, whatever we're doing, how can I use the camera and move it in a way that people wouldn't expect me to do? And the more creative decisions we can do like that, in the editing room, we can piece all of that together and make what might have been a boring sequence look so much cooler through a variety of different techniques that have nothing to do with slow motion. And now the reason behind why you might want to do this is basically because think about your eye. it sees in real time. We don't see in slow motion. So if we create all of our videos and just make them entirely slow motion, it separates the viewer from what the experience was actually like. And it puts this barrier between us and the video we're watching because yeah, it might look cool, but it doesn't look real. Now, if you think about the commercial you just watched, maybe you loved it, in which case we love you back, or maybe you hated it and you just don't like mountain biking. Either way, less than 5% of that entire video was slow motion. Almost all of it was real-time footage because we were able to shoot in such a creative fashion with multiple camera angles, different perspectives, all that stuff. And at the end of the day, by not using slow motion, we're able to get across more of the story, more content, more of the amazing shots that we love, which keeps the viewer engaged throughout the process. So long story short, if you're still watching this video, I challenge you to use less slow motion in your creative filmmaking process. Try to use your gear differently, and I guarantee you your videos will look more professional. Now, aside from all that, I have a question for you because over the next coming weeks, months, whatever it may be, we're gonna be creating a ton of content surrounding how we shot this video, how we edited it, everything that you can really think of. We wanna create training based on the questions that you guys have. So if you're watching this video now, in the comments below, ask us absolutely anything that you can think of, whether it's how did you color grade those scenes? How did you get that transition? What was your focal length? What was your storyboarding process? Any of that, they're all valid questions. So go and ask them, and we'll be sure to create content to answer those questions. Now, most of this will be inside of our 14-day filmmaker program. We have an entire series laid out to basically train our students on how to create content exactly like this. Now, a few of those videos will feature on YouTube so that everybody can get in on the action. But nonetheless, let us know in the comments below what questions you have and we will start creating content. Now, if you haven't already done this, click the link in the description below and check out our program 14-Day Filmmaker. You've probably heard us talk about it before, but it really is the most affordable resource on the planet to get to where you want to be with your filmmaking career in the fastest time frame possible. We have well over 100 videos in the program. Over 10,000 students have already enrolled. They're loving it. They tell us every day how surprised they are that we charge so little for this program, but we want to make it accessible to everybody. So check it out. The link is beneath this video in the description. Aside from that, if you haven't already, please like and subscribe to our channel. It helps us grow. It helps us with the YouTube algorithm and all that stuff. But we're going to be releasing a lot more content, so you probably want to be subscribed anyways. And then last but not least, thanks for watching, and I'll see you all in the next one.